A big retailer is closing another batch of stores, including one in Northern California. Macy's has confirmed it'll close 14 stores nationwide, including the one that's in Tracy.
I used to love Macy's. Perfume counters, staff who knew your name, departments that felt full. Your family trusted that store for decades. Now walk in. Half the floor is clearance. One cashier for 3 departments, and every other sentence is, "Want to open a Macy's card?" Macy's doesn't sell luxury anymore. It sells the memory of luxury, and every time you walk in believing you're getting a deal, you're playing the exact role they wrote for you. Macy's is not dying. It is laughing all the way to the bank at your expense, but this video will show you how to make the Macy's model work for you. You're thinking, we already know Macy's is always on sale. Sure, but what's happening behind those sales? Behind the closures, the credit cards, that bold new chapter? Most shoppers never understand it. By the time you've seen all 10 illusions in this video, you'll never look at a Macy's sale tag the same way. Stay to the end. 4 bonus secrets they really don't want you hearing. Illusion number 10. A bold new chapter. That doesn't include your store. Macy's has this plan they keep calling the bold new chapter. Sounds exciting. Sounds like progress. Here's what it actually means. They're closing roughly 150 stores by the end of 2026. That's about 1 out of every 3 Macy's locations in the country. Gone. And it's not random. 55 shut down in 2024, another 66 in 2025, more in 2026, from New Hampshire to North Carolina to Texas. Meanwhile, CEO Tony Spring took home $16.45 million last year. For a company pulling in $23 billion, $16 million for closing your store. Nice work if you can get it. And here's the part that doesn't get talked about enough. When the Macy's closes, the mall starts dying. Foot traffic drops. Other stores follow. For a lot of communities, especially older adults who relied on that space, it's not just losing a store, it's losing a gathering place. Bold new chapter is corporate language for, we did the math and your neighborhood didn't make the cut. They just didn't say it to your face. They said it in a spreadsheet. If your local Macy's has felt emptier lately, Google Macy's store closures 2025-2026 and check the list. If it's on there, or if nearby stores are already gone, think twice before buying anything big. Returns, warranties, and service all get harder when the building shuts down. Even if your store survives the cuts, that doesn't mean you're getting a fair deal inside, especially when everything always seems to be on sale. Illusion number 9, the always on sale game. You walk into Macy's and nothing's full price. One-day sale, friends and family, semi-annual clearance, flash sale, holiday special. Here's how often these run. The one-day sale alone happens 10 to 13 times a year. And despite the name, it lasts 2 to 3 days. That means Macy's is running a so-called special event almost every single week. Sure, every department store runs sales, but Macy's has turned it into a full-time business model and built the rest of these traps around it. Macy's knows that crossed-out price on the tag isn't real. They printed it there because your brain does the math before your logic does. You see $80 marked down to $49, and your body feels like it just won something. By the time you question it, you're already at the register. That's why you walked in for one sweater and left carrying a bag with 3 things that were on sale. Congratulations! You just paid full price. In a costume. Sound familiar? Some former associates have backed this up on Indeed and Glassdoor. One wrote that the only thing management really cares about is credit card signups, not whether you got a deal. That's one review, but it matches a pattern across dozens of others. Here's a quick gut check. Pick something you buy a lot. Check the Macy's sale price. Then check Amazon, the brand's own site, and one more store. If Macy's isn't at least 20 to 30% lower, that's not a sale. That's just the price wearing a costume. And the pricing tricks get sneakier when you look at what brands are actually on those racks. Illusion number 8. Only at Macy's. Means you can't price check it. Only at Macy's. Sounds exclusive. Sounds special. Like you're getting something nobody else carries. Here's what it usually means. Macy's made its own brand or paid a designer to create a cheaper version just for their shelves. So you can't look it up anywhere else. You can't Google the exact item and find it for less. That's not exclusivity. That's a cage around the price tag. They've been rolling out new private labels hard. On 34th, State of Day, refreshed versions of INC and Style & Co. These brands borrow the look of designer without the materials to back it up. It's like ordering filet mignon and getting a hamburger patty on a nicer plate. Same cow, different presentation, 3 times the price. Before buying anything marked only at Macy's, flip the tag, check the fabric. If you're getting polyester blends at $60 when real brands offer cotton at the same price somewhere else, walk away. But maybe the quality doesn't bother you. Maybe you go to Macy's for the experience, the feeling of a real department store, right? Well, illusion number 7, the dying floor. Walk into a Macy's in 2026. Not a flagship, not one of the shiny remodeled ones, just a regular store in a regular mall. What you'll see doesn't look like luxury, it barely looks like retail. Half-empty racks, clearance jammed into the middle of what used to be a real department. One associate trying to cover 2 entire floors, fitting rooms with out-of-order signs that haven't been updated in months. The mannequins look better staffed than the actual sales floor. One manager in Macy's executive development program wrote this on Glassdoor. Macy's is a dying company, closing more stores each year and cutting staff every year. You are set up for failure. That's not some angry teenager at the register, that's management, saying it publicly. And the rating for that program? 2.1 out of 5 stars. Here's the kicker, Macy's eyes investing in some stores. They've got 125 so-called reimagined locations, getting fresh layouts, better staffing, real attention. Those stores saw sales tick up nearly 3% last quarter, but that's 125 out of 350 they're keeping. So Macy's has the money to fix stores. They just didn't pick yours. Noted. Now look, some of you in the comments are going to say your Macy's is still great. Better staffed, cleaner floors, real selection. You might be right. If you're near a reimagined store, you got lucky. But for most of the country, walking into Macy's today feels less like shopping and more like visiting a relative who's not doing well. Everything's technically still there, but you can feel what's coming. Drop the name of the Macy's you grew up with in the comments. Tell me, does it still feel the same? If the stores are being quietly hollowed out, what about the people who've been loyal to them the longest? Illusion number 6. They need you, but they don't respect you. Here's something Macy's will never put in a press release. Their most loyal customers are also their least happy. More than half of Macy's shoppers are over 45. That's the core. That's who's been showing up for decades. And according to consumer data, those same shoppers, especially the ones over 56, and especially those who've been coming for 10 plus years, report the worst satisfaction scores. Think about that. The people who gave Macy's the most years are having the worst time. You've been on a first-name basis with your Macy's for 30 years. Macy's has been on a spreadsheet name basis with you. Their whole turnaround plan is aimed at younger, trendier shoppers. Meanwhile, the loyal customers who actually show up get the understaffed floors, the shrinking sizes, the half-maintained stores that smell the same but feel completely different. You gave Macy's your wedding dress, your Christmas shopping list for 30 years, your back-to-school runs, and they quietly bumped you to the bottom of the priority list. If your Macy's feels worse every time you walk in, fewer people, messier displays, less of what you actually came for, trust what you're feeling. You're not imagining it. The data says you're right. Macy's doesn't just want your loyalty, though. They want something way more profitable. If you want more content like this and stuff that cuts through the marketing and tells you what's really going on where you spend your money, hit subscribe. We don't get paid to protect Macy's. We show up to protect you. Illusion number 5, the credit card trap. Here we are. Possibly the most frustrating part of the entire Macy's experience. You're at the register. The cashier asks if you want to open a Macy's card. Save 25% today. Sounds like free money. That cashier isn't asking because they care about your savings. They're asking because their manager is watching. Nobody at that counter is going to tell you what happens next month. That Macy's card issued through Citibank carries a variable APR of 32.74%. The average credit card rate for someone with good credit? Around 23%. Macy's charges almost 10 points higher. Here's what that looks like in your wallet. A bank rate analyst calculated this for CBS 8. Put $1,000 on a Macy's card and make minimum payments. It takes you 58 months to pay it off. That's almost 5 years. And the total interest you'd pay? Over $1,000. You'd more than double what you spent. That sweater you bought for $80? It just cost you $160. And Macy's got paid twice. You're not financing fashion. You're financing Citibank's quarterly earnings, one cardigan at a time. Remember earlier when we said the only thing management really cares about is credit card signups? Here's your proof. And who's the easiest person to sign up at checkout? Someone who's trusted the brand for decades. Someone on a fixed income who hears, save 25% today, and doesn't hear the 32.74% that starts next month. One consumer complaint described a customer who opened a card to save $10 on a gift. According to their account, they got auto-enrolled in credit insurance they never asked for. Took 3 calls to undo it. In another case, a customer said their rate jumped to 34.49% with nothing but a letter in the mail. Individual stories vary, but the pattern is consistent. The card is easy to get into. It's hard to get out of. That 25% off at the register is bait. The 32.74% APR is the hook, and once you bite, Macy's earns more from your interest than they ever made from the sweater. Never open a store card for a one-time discount unless you're paying the balance in full every month. If you already carry a balance, call and ask for a lower rate. Research shows most cardholders who ask in good standing get one. Better yet, move that balance to a card with a 0% intro offer. The credit card isn't the only place Macy's coupon game works against you. Illusion number 4, the coupon maze. Macy's coupons, email coupons, app coupons, credit card only coupons, one-day sale coupons, friends and family coupons. All of them loaded with exclusions so long they'd need their own scroll wheel. Here's the game. You get a 20% off coupon. Great. Except the brands you actually want, Nike, Levi's, Coach, are excluded. The coupon only works on stuff that Macy's is already trying to move. It's the only coupon in America that punishes you for knowing what you want. So now you buy something you didn't come in for at a price that was never a deal in the first place because you didn't want to waste the coupon. That's not saving money. That's spending money you didn't plan to spend, and feeling clever while you do it. This is especially rough on older shoppers. The fine print is tiny. The exclusion lists are a mile long. The apps change constantly. If you're not glued to your phone, the coupon system is designed to exhaust you into either giving up or giving in. Macy's coupons are like a gift card to a restaurant that only works on the dishes you didn't want to order. Before you rearrange your shopping trip around a coupon, read the exclusions. If the brand you want is blocked, the coupon is worthless to you. Don't let a 20% sticker talk you into buying something you never planned to carry out of that store. And the price confusion doesn't stop at coupons. Illusion number 3, 2 Macy's, 2 prices. This trips up even smart shoppers. The price on the rack is not the same as the price online. Sometimes higher in store, sometimes lower. Sometimes the item is on sale on Macy's.com, but full price at the register. 2 pricing systems, 1 store name, and they don't always match. Some shoppers on Reddit and shopping forums have figured this out the hard way. They describe scanning a barcode in-store and finding the same item $15 cheaper on the website, while standing inside the building. Others report online-only deals that the in-store associates can't or won't match. Not every item, not every store, but often enough that experienced Macy's shoppers have made scanning a habit. You're holding the item, you're inside the store, and there's a version of Macy's on your phone charging you less for the exact same thing. Imagine sitting in a restaurant and finding out the guy at the next table got the same steak for $12 less because he ordered on his phone while sitting in the same restaurant. That's not a glitch. That's 2 stores pretending to be one. If you already scan prices before you buy, you're ahead of most people. If you don't, start. Anything over $30, check the app. Ask the associate to match. If they won't, order it from the parking lot. At least if something goes wrong, Macy's will take it back, right? Well, that depends. Illusion number 2, the return policy. Comfort blanket. Macy's has a standard return policy. Most items 30 days, some 90. On paper, it sounds safe. In practice, it gets messy fast. Buy a mattress from a store that closes 4 months later. Now try returning a king-size anything to a location 40 miles away. Good luck fitting it in your car and driving it to a store that may or may not take it back. That's not a return policy, that's a dare. Here's the thread that ties this back. Remember those 150 closures? Every store that shuts down makes the return experience harder for everyone who ever shopped there. Warranties, exchanges, adjustments. All of it depends on a store being there. And Macy's isn't promising that anymore. A return policy is only as good as the store it comes from. And Macy's is closing 1 in 3. For any big purchase, anything over $100, ask before you swipe. If this store closes, where do I handle returns? If nobody can answer that clearly, buy it online instead. At least there's a paper trail. All of these illusions, the pricing games, the closures, the coupons, the credit card, they're all powered by the same engine, and it's the hardest one to see. Illusion number 1, the nostalgia trap. This is the real product Macy's is selling. Not clothes, not deals, not luxury. Nostalgia. The Thanksgiving Day parade, the holiday windows in Manhattan, the store where your mom bought your first good dress, your prom shoes, your wedding registry. That Macy's was real. That Macy's earned your trust. This one is cashing in on the memory. Macy's Inc., $23 billion in revenue, is running a strategy that closes 150 stores, cuts 1,000+ corporate jobs, and quietly pivots toward fewer, richer, younger customers. The stores your family shopped for generations, they call them underproductive. Underproductive. That's what they called the store your grandmother shopped at for 40 years. If you're over 50, you remember a Macy's that deserved what it got from you. Staff who looked you in the eye, departments that had what you needed, quality that matched the price. That store is gone. What's left is a brand borrowing your trust to sell you a version of itself that stopped earning it a long time ago. Every illusion in this video connects here. The fake sales, the private labels, the dying floors, the credit card with the 32% APR, the closures, all of it. Symptoms of a company squeezing the last drops of loyalty from people who haven't been shown the door yet. Macy's isn't just closing stores, it's closing the book on the customers who built them. And they didn't even have the decency to say goodbye. Remember the store from the intro? The perfume counters, the real departments. The feeling that you were somewhere that mattered. That store didn't leave you. Macy's left it behind. Bonus secrets. Those are the 10 illusions. But we're not done. 4 bonus secrets Macy's really doesn't want you thinking about. Bonus number 1. The best stuff isn't in the store. In-store selection has been shrinking, especially in non-flagship locations. Fewer sizes, fewer colors, less new inventory. Meanwhile, Macy's.com and the Macy's Marketplace carry way more options. If you're shopping the physical store, you're often picking from what's left over, not what's best. The best version of Macy's isn't at the mall anymore. It's on your phone. Bonus number 2. Same item, 3 prices. Rack tag. Register price, website price, 3 different numbers for the same sweater. Macy's doesn't standardize pricing across channels. Some shoppers swear by this. They scan everything in-store, catch the lower online price, and ask for a match. If that's you, you're already winning. But most people trust the tag, and the tag isn't always telling the truth. Bonus number 3. The perfume counter pressure. Those beauty counters are staffed by brand reps, many on commission. The free sample isn't free, it's a sales funnel. The makeover is a close. You went in for lotion, you came out with a $90 serum you can't pronounce, and a loyalty card you didn't ask for. The free sample wasn't free, it was an audition, and you got cast as the customer. Bonus number 4. When the anchor dies, the mall dies. When Macy's pulls out of a mall, the ripple effect goes way beyond one empty storefront. Vacancy climbs, foot traffic drops, other stores leave. In smaller towns, losing the anchor can mean losing the mall entirely, and the community gathering space it used to be. This isn't just about shopping. For a lot of people, it's about losing one of the last indoor places they had. Here's the truth about Macy's. It's not about saving you money. It's about making you feel like you're still shopping in the safe, familiar America you grew up with. While the rules are changing behind your back, check if your store is on the closure list. Stop treating sale like it means deal. Compare first. Never open a credit card for a one-time discount. Scan every item on your phone before you buy it. And if the store feels half empty and the staff looks exhausted, trust your gut. You're probably right. If Macy still works for you, if you know what you're buying and what it's really worth, keep doing what works. This isn't about boycotting anyone. It's about refusing to be the last loyal customer propping up a business model that already packed its bags. Here's the thing. You walked into Macy's for 30 years because it felt like it respected you back. The moment it stopped doing that, the moment it started closing your store, raising your interest rate, and calling your loyalty underproductive, it broke the deal. Not you. Them. You didn't change. Macy's did. And you deserve a store that acts like it still wants you there. What's your Macy's story? The deal that made your year, or the moment you realized the magic was gone? Drop it in the comments. And if you think Macy's is the only department store pulling this kind of thing, stick around. We're just getting started. Stores won't always tell you what's happening behind the clearance racks, but we will.